not knowing what your price is. I've had businesses come in and said, we're selling this for $5. Okay. Well, how much did it cost you? Well, we're selling it for $5. So we sit down and figure the cost, and it costs them $5.25. You don't stay in business very long when you're selling it for less than what it's costing you. I think this is number one. Well, between this one and this one, these two are number ones. If you don't know how to manage the business side, usually part of that is the cash flow. I had a gentleman, he'd been in business for years. He was 60-some years old, and he said, Doris, I'm making money. I said, really? How do you know? Because you don't keep any records. Because I got money in my pocket. Got money in my business all the time. What he was doing was he was borrowing money in January to pay off all his expenses for his taxes, and then paying back on that borrowed money all year long. And then the next year, he'd borrow money again, they paid off, he'd borrow money again and pay throughout the year. He was never making money. He was just refinancing his business every year and never making anything. But he was happy, I guess. And afraid to ask for help. People come to me, said, Doris, I know I need help. The gentleman that was starting the, wanting to buy the second business, he came and he said, Doris, I've told you're the one that can help me. I need help, not just financially. I says, oh no. I said, if I loan you money, because CCC does that, Entrepreneurship Center, we do that, small amounts. If I loan you money, I come with the package. You have to work with me. There's no choice. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. He realized he needed help. Because his business, his other business that he has now, is just a cash business. Service, I do the work, you pay me. We're good. The new business isn't that way. So never be afraid to ask for help. Why are you successful? Because you plan. You plan for those slow times. I have had 7 businesses. Every one of them have slow periods of time. I did 12 shows for my wholesale business. You say that's 1 a month. That's good. Averaged over. Yeah, average over 6 months. The other 6 months, I wasn't bringing income in. So what do you have to do? Plan the 6 months that you're getting income to cover the 6 months you're not, or the 2 weeks, or the 2 months. Every business has some type of slow time. Might not be very long slow time. You may, but after being in business for a period of time, you know what it is. If I'm a window washer, when do you think my slow time is? Winter. Very few people want their windows washed, unless it's inside maybe. But then I really want the inside and outside, right? Because then nobody knows I washed the inside because the outside's dirty. So winter's my slow time. If you're a craft type business, as we'll say farmer's market, my ceramic business. Well, let's just do ceramics. When is my slow time? When do people usually do gifts of that type? Christmas. So my busy time was from after school started, because I dealt mainly with women, young mothers. So they wouldn't start in August because they were spending their money on school, right? School clothes and supplies. So once school started, about the 1st of September to the middle of September, I was busy through December. Now my scrapbook business was a little different. I was busy during that time, but it extended into January and February because they were scrapping their Christmas photos. And then I got busy. March was a little slower, but then I got busy March through May because they were scrapbooking what? Graduation photos for their graduates. My slow time was in the summer, but then they'd come back because they had trips and vacations, and so late summer, early fall was being what they would scrapbook in that time. So you have to know your business when those slow times are, and they will vary. That's part of planning. Always offer something different and unique. People would say, how could you compete against Walmart with scrapbooks? Because, you know, I can get paper at Walmart, now it's Hobby Lobby, I can get it for 25 cents, 50 cents. But you know what? Walmart only carried 4 sheets of paper, different types of paper, where if you bought the whole line, because manufacturers would do a line, a series, a set. They would usually do 8 to 12 different types of paper, and then their embellishments. That was the little stickers that went on, their little, you know, tabs and so forth. And they would do a matching scrapbook sometimes. Walmart only carried at the most 4 of those 8 to 12 papers, 1 or 2 of the 8 to 12 embellishments, and seldom did they ever carry the scrapbook. So they would see it at Walmart, come in and go, oh, that match, oh, you've got that paper. Well, Walmart had that paper, but they didn't have that paper. I want those papers together. That was my uniqueness. I carried the whole line. I don't want to compete head-to-head against Walmart. I can't. There's no way a small business can compete head-to-head against Walmart, because they were selling it for my cost. What they were selling it in their store cost, that's what it cost me as a small business. Because I couldn't guarantee them thousands of dollars for a sheet of paper. Okay. So you find what they don't do, and you pick up that unique product or service. And they could come to me and say, Doris, what goes with this? And my employees, as well as myself, we would help them put the package together. That's not what Walmart does. So that's the uniqueness. Understanding what the customer needs. I've had customers say, I can get this online, can you get it for me? And I say, yep, I can get it for this. I might not get much profit off of that, but I would keep that customer happy, picking up that they didn't have to order it online, they could get it with all their other stuff. So that's part of pricing. Help get things when it's necessary, going the extra mile. Understanding, Tom mentioned this, know your industry, know where they're going. Photography industry has changed dramatically with the flow of electronics. He said, don't watch your competitor, but he didn't mean not to avoid them. You still have to know what your competition's doing. Good record keeping, right, Miss Salliard? Miss Salliard's the accounting teacher. That's good. Know how to keep existing customers. For every dollar that you spend on an existing customer, a new customer will cost you $10. So you want to keep your existing customers happy if you can get a return on that. And then we talked about cash flow. Where did business ideas come from? Every one of my business ideas came from, well, not every one of them, came from a hobby. I was doing ceramics. I moved to Columbus. The 2 ceramics businesses in town didn't have room for me, and so my friend said, if you want to do ceramics, we'll come and do ceramics with you. Okay. My parents had a ceramic business. I would take the greenware that had to be baked, fired. I'd take that 100 miles, drive home, fire over the weekend, and bring it back. Well, then I decided I'd get my own little kiln. So I had more friends said, well, if you have your kiln, we'll come and keep you company, and we'll do it with you. And from there, then it just exploded. But it was a hobby. Scrapbooking. scrapbook has always been a hobby of mine. And I had 4 friends that said, Doris, you need to open up a ceramic store, or a scrapbook store. I says, no, Doris doesn't. You need to, and I'll finance it. Okay. Well, before the doors got open, they all backed out. Brushes went with my ceramics. They're craft brushes, but you use craft brushes for ceramics, so that was a no-brainer. The scents just kind of fell, you know, I saw the scents and I go, oh, I can make ceramic, you know, containers and burn them and, you know, use both of them in one. So, hobbies have always been mine. But prior jobs, chance of you saw something. Someone suggested it to you, like my friends. Through some education, training. Maybe you take over the family business. Maybe some activities that you do with your friends or relatives. Or you see, one thing that's not on there that I hear quite often is you see a need. You look at the community and you see what the community needs. Or something that you say, I always wish I had this. Why hasn't somebody designed that? Why hasn't somebody made that? There's your opportunity. So always keep your ears and eyes open. Ask questions. You know, if you thought Columbus, if you thought Albion, you know, what if this was an ideal community? If you're a community that, what do they need? And you can go from there. Keeping these ears and eyes open. The photography business just kind of fell in front of him, and he grabbed a hold of my foot. Sometimes it's just a matter of talking with people, asking the right questions. Niches are always good, pricing, and you're going to learn all of that in this class. Sometimes your idea isn't a valuable idea, and you have to accept that. You have to, and that's why we do a feasibility study, whether it's a practical business idea or not. A few years ago, I had a couple that wanted to clean hot tubs and swimming pools. You had to register your hot tub and swimming pool, and so they went to the courthouse, checked how many hot tubs and swimming pools there were, and said, oh, you know, yeah, there's probably enough that we could do a business. They took my workshop, we put numbers together, and the time it took them to clean one and what they could charge for it did not equate to the money that they were making and needed to make currently. So by the end of the workshop, they said, you know, we always thought this was a great idea, but after we put the numbers together, it's not feasible to do. Sometimes that happens. What can make your business unique? Something you've invented. Maybe it's a location. Maybe it's a feature you offer. You know, a drive-through convenience store. Gentleman years ago, it's been 4 or 5 years ago, we talked about doing that. He's kind of backed off. He's still maybe, but you know, that's unique, right? There's no other convenience store that you could think of that has a drive-through. You know, keep your pops, keep your milk, keep your bread. Basic ingredients. Somebody comes up to the window and says, I want a loaf of bread, I want a gallon of milk, 1%, and I want a 6-pack of 7-Up. You go through the store, bring it up to the window, and bam, they're up and gone, and they didn't have to get out of the car. Jeff Goki usually talks, I don't know if he'll talk this time, excuse me, he had Big Apple bagels. He increased his sales by 10% by putting a window in. He was the only store, Big Apple store, that had a drive-through window. And he had a petition to get that because that wasn't part of their plan. It's Big Apple franchise. So, unique features. Something new. Thinking green. If you can do that, you're ahead of the game already. We'll talk about pricing, packaging. Tom covered those because that was on his list. We're just going to talk about the top 2 homework assignment. In addition to, because I don't think I put it on there specifically, I want you to list your goals and your objectives. Personal goals, personal objectives. And then we'll convert those to your business goals and objectives. Okay? Personal goals and objectives. If you have a business, you can start relating it to the business. If you don't have a business idea yet, don't worry about it. And these are just some ideas for business goals, but I want you to be more generic. I want you to list yours, what you think. Risk management. We talked about insurance. Name. Next week, this is just to get you to think about it. You don't have to do anything. Just think about it. When you come up with a name, Sid asked me, how did I come up with Red Apple? Well, I came up with it. Does it really relate? Yeah, only because I add that type of business behind it. Ceramics, scrapbooking, farmer's market. What I always say, try to avoid in naming your business is using your name. Now, if you're an artist, go ahead and use your name, because you're not going to sell your artist ability to somebody. But I have a computer repair shop that before he came to see me, he had already taken his last name and computer repair shop. So it was Galvin Computer Repair Shop. He sold it within a year. And because he had built up his clientele, the new owner kept Galvin Computer Repair. Now, he has closed since that business, and Mr. Galvin is getting the phone calls because his name's still associated with that business. He says, Doris, I don't want the liability of, whether he did a good job or a bad job. And I said, that's why you don't name your business after yourself, especially when you sell your business name with the business. Because it will reflect back to you, whether they're doing good or bad. I said I did trade shows, right? I did ceramic trade shows. There's a lady that had Betty Ceramics. Everybody called her Betty, right? Her name's Betty, right? Betty Ceramics. Her real name is Eunice. Only a few of us knew that. She bought out Betty Ceramics. Again, she wanted to keep that reputation because it was a good reputation, so she kept the name. And would she answer if you say, hi, Betty? Yeah, she would, because she knew, She's not going to say, my name's not Betty, and then she'd have to explain why. So yeah, what you need. So that's why you don't use your name. Location is the same thing. West Point, Implement. Where's it at?
West Point?
West Point Implement. Where's it at?
What is that?
West Point's a town. West Point Implement. Where's it at?
West Point.
Yeah, that's what you would say, West Point. No, it's in Columbus. out here on the highway. Because they are in West Point, but they have another business location in Columbus. Freeman Office Supply, where's it at?
Fremont.
Yeah, it's in Columbus. It's down on 13th Street. So that's why you don't name your business after a location. You never know that you might expand. You never know that you might move. 3rd Street Auto. On 3rd Street? No, they're up on 22nd. So, okay, so that's, a little bit about names. Think about them. Cliches. You're all over 16, right?
Yeah.
It's the sheets. It's a cliche. Cliche. What do they sell? It's the sheets. What do you think? Sheets, bedding, bathroom stuff. But if you say it fast enough and think on what it really is, the play on words is what? You don't need to say it, but it's the, replace the double E, okay? So be cautious about double playing on words. It's cute, but can get confusing and can get miscrewed. Okay. Think of the name that will describe what you're doing. Then you don't always have to do taglines. If you have a name and you have to do a tagline to explain it, that means you got to have that tagline on everything. Okay, we'll talk about names when I come out. We'll talk about your business so I get a better feel of what you're thinking about. We'll spend some time, if you don't have an idea, on some ideas. Think about hobbies, interests that you'd like to do. Look around the community. What does the community need that you could do? That will get you thinking about some ideas. Okay, we did not get to your homework. In your packet, you'll have this little multicolored sheet. I have everybody's email, right? We will, you didn't put that on your, when you signed in?
I put it on there, but you didn't send me an email before.
Oh, okay. This check makes sure that we can read everything, that we didn't misread. Okay. I will send this to you because you have videos to view. They're usually 3-4 minutes long. I usually try to do that today, but we're running out of time. So, and it's easier to click on the video here than try to type all that in. So I will send that to you to watch those. Your homework assignments is the complete. The first activity sheet 1 is from the textbook. There's a, at the end of the chapter, about 4 questions. The BP 10 is that assessment you do online. Activity 3, start with why. That's the video 3. You watch that. That is a little longer video. It's 18 minutes, and then there's questions on activity 3 from that video. Project sheet 1 goes with your BP 10. Activity sheet 5, why does the business exist? It's an activity, personal, this is where you list your personal business goals. So that is part of that activity that we just got through talking about. You'll work on a vision statement of your business and a mission statement and ideas. Those 3 worksheets go together back to your goals. And then project sheet 2 is starting your business plan, company overview. So take a look at those. We have dates set for SCOTUS. Do we have dates set for Albion? Did Susan talk to you? Okay, did Susan talk to you, guys?
About what?
when I come out to your school? Okay. Susan? Dates for Boone and Lakeview?
I was gonna email the teachers and find out.
Okay, will that work?
The dates.
We'll just do
Yeah,
that.
that'll work.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Because you're all in the same class, right?
Yeah, we're in the same class.
Yeah, that entrepreneurship
Yeah.
class, right? So you'll be that one. And you guys are not in the same Viking
No, we have a class. It's our
marketing?
careers. Yeah, it's kind of like a business class.
Marketing. Wasn't that the class I came out to talk to?
Careers.
Careers? Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
To the marketing at Columbus.
You went to the, like, Viking time or like homeroom.
Homeroom time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't there for that.
But you have a career,
We have
Class?
a careers class.
she does have that?
She has
Okay,
quite a few
so-
of
I'll
them.
talk to Tara and find
Yeah.
out later.
But like, there's more kids in that class than just us that aren't.
Well,
Right,
you
right.
s-
And
Ross
then-
should probably come at the end or something and just talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe in a media center or library or something, you know,
Oh,
but it's not the whole
Yeah,
class.
that's what I typically do is, you know, at the end of that class, you know, she would excuse you, yeah, okay,
I've said it, it's good.
okay, so we're good with
We did
gonna
the
get
14th,
that
right?
set up.
All right.
14th, right?
So
So
usually I
Jared-
come out in about two to 3 weeks after today, so it'll be about 2 weeks after today. I come out, that's when you should have your homework done or you have questions about your homework. And we go over that and then we'll, you know, handle anything else you have questions about the business, whatever. Okay?
What's the website where you just like type in the name you're thinking of and it shows you if it's like,
That's on that worksheet.
all right.
And we're not there yet, so don't get ahead of yourself. That's next month,
Okay.
okay? Okay, very good. Okay, any questions? Are you all good to, want to continue on? Good job. You did awesome today. Grab a donut to go home. We have plenty. The ones that were not here today, talk to them about, you know, what it was like, what it's about. If you're taking materials to them, share how to do those, what we need. And we're good. We'll see you November 18th.
Here's some napkins for your donuts on the roads.
We're out of napkins and here we went through them all, I forgot.
So we have our little,
Not necessarily.
And then I'm gonna come back and get it.
You'd be better doing that by yourself.
I didn't want to drive like dedicated. So it was like I was so
No, we help you with, we help you with that. Your mentor will help you with that, and so.
This one's too.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh, right.
That's an easy question.
So it should be a check.
And the other one's CCC, so.
I've got one, you can try it out. Okay, just, wait, I don't know if you guys are thinking about it, but from experience, if you do a partnership, that's a much more difficult to do than it is a sole proprietor. We don't tell you you can't do it. I'm just telling you from experience, partnerships usually don't last.
When they're waiting out there for me, that shoot us on time.
The 14th.
It's where it has a few cards in it, where I would make some sessions, and it comes with
See you guys later.
I'm kind of panicking, like,
Grab a donut.
stickers and
Grab one.
Oh, sure.
or something.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Not at all. No, I like that idea. Yeah.
because I'm not sure how I can like, because like I saw it like if there's anything, but there's more like.
So you might want to broaden it in
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So Jared's
Thank you.
Okay. This, you want me to go with you? Actually, I'm gonna go with yours. Come with me, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
What? Oh, God.
I'll talk to Susan. Thanks. Stole your pen, I replaced it.
Oh,
But I had the wrong City Hall principal, so.
oh, okay. Well, you're so far away.
So, but, is Clay Boy's quiet?
He's the only one sitting in
Yeah, he doesn't. And he didn't raise his hand. No. That's true, he didn't. Good boy. Yeah. I haven't heard from him. Very confident, there's no problem there, but you just, he's teasing me. So, be aware.
Okay. Let's see. Brazil, that's not Spanish, that's Portuguese. It's Portuguese. See, so
That's what I asked
Does
Jared, I
he
said, do we
speak
know?
both?
I don't know. Because nobody will ever try to speak another language.
Well, I'll get Veronica in here and see if he understands Spanish.
I'm just gonna, but Susan is gonna.
My background understanding is that Brazil doesn't even try to speak any language.
Pretty sure it's
Yeah.
I tried to many times because I kept putting an and.
And I about have it memorized. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Would you like one of these for yourself? Then you know where they're coming from.
Oh, okay,
You want to take one for Carmen?
sure. Load me up.
You bet. They're free from SBA, so.
Back there, so I can-
Have fun.
Okay, how many parents scuttlebutt, they're not liking the new teacher. The kids are thinking of dropping the class come semester. Because the one parent was like, oh, I don't know if we should pay for it, because she was gonna sit on the class today and just decide if she was gonna take it or, take this thing. I said, she doesn't have to be in the class
No,
to take
no.
this.
And I asked them, and they both said yes.
Well, and she came out and told her parents to write the check, because they were like, I'm not,
Yeah.
she texted us, told us we had to come back and write a check. But we were wondering if we even should write a check, because, and she goes,
So I told you what he said in
"Mm-mm."
front of them. He said, everything that Doris is covering covers all my objectives in this class, and my class will be covered if you take it from Doris. The new teacher.
I hope I didn't say that on camera. Oh, good, it's off.
Like,